Make sure you guys are like the video too. Like the video. Like the video. What's your name? Is it Leo? We can't hear you.
Oh, yes, it's Leo,
Leo, where you calling me from?
Texas,
Texas. How old are you?
32.
32. What do you do for a living?
Um, Pet care provider.
Say it again.
Pet care provider. I
Pet
work with,
care provider.
yeah, small business.
All right. What's your zodiac sign?
Leo.
Leo. Is that why your name is Leo?
My mom named me Leo, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
And do you have any children?
none.
No kids. And I think I got it all. What part of Texas?
Dallas.
Dallas. So we got Leo, Dallas, Texas, 32, Leo, pet care provider, no kids. What kind of woman you looking for?
Um, I value women that are uh focused on the family. I don't. I want to provide for her. Um, but I also want her to focus on the things that I'm trying, like the small businesses that I'm trying to develop. I'd rather her work for me. So I want her to be a worker, but I want her to work for the family. And I want her to, I'm a traditional man. So I want her to know her role as a wife. Um, and I want her to also um, be trying to become the best version of herself, like emotionally. Because I think uh, a lot of women make the excuse of saying I'm a woman, so I have that excuse to be emotional. And I don't want her to be like that. I don't want her to make an excuse for her why she's overly emotional. I want her to be trying to overcome that.
Okay. Now you say you want to be you're a traditional man.
Yeah.
So do you want your wife to be a stay-at-home wife?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, can she have kids already?
No kids.
No kids. Okay. So you are a provider. You don't want her to work, but no kids. Let's go to more deal breakers. No kids. What else is another deal breaker?
Um she's if she's spiritual, if she refers to herself as spiritual.
Oh, you don't like spiritual.
Mm-mm.
Can you break that down? Why?
Um what I noticed, spiritual women tend to be they associate God with religion, and they tend to be very far away from God, or they're self-righteous.
Hmm. So you want what? You want a godly woman, a religious woman? What would be the opposite for you?
um I want her to love God with all her mind, body, and soul, but I want her to be willing to. I noticed that a lot of women today, when they have a certain train of thought, I want her to be inviting to maybe a concept that she doesn't understand, like the emotion thing. Normally, when I'm vetting women and I'm telling them that being a woman is not an excuse to be overly emotional, I notice that um they want to stay in that, and they don't want to find peace. They don't want to learn how to and if I tell them, like, well, the scripture talks about overcoming and having perfect peace in your heart and being able to love people and not judge them. And I tell them, like, even sadness is like the child to anger. So even if you're sad all the time, you may think that as a woman, well, I'm not an angry woman, but that is still an angry woman to me, and I want her to be open to at least understanding these concepts.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, Leo, just for curiosity, what
Mhm.
is your, I guess, religious belief? Like, how would you classify it? If you're not spiritual, what are you?
um I would just say I love God, and that I would just leave it at that.
Okay.
But it would fall somewhere close between, like, Muslims think I'm Muslim. they think I'm a, but then I can run across some Israelites and they'll think I'm an Israelite, but I'm neither. I'm neither. I just love everybody, no matter the race, no matter.
Okay. Um, all right. So, do you have any other deal breakers?
Um, just love fitness. You don't got to necessarily have the physique I have, but you gotta love to want to become the best version of yourself. Work out, keep it looking good for me.
Okay. I got a paid question for you. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, Har Hurla said, I think it's a woman. So you will provide with the dog walker job. How much do you earn, sir? Why don't you want her to work and you want her to be a stay-at-home mom?
So I run a full pet business, so that requires boarding, cuts, personal training for dogs. It's a lot of fat dogs out here, and I get to run with them like an athlete, and it's fun. It's fun.
Okay. I guess, I mean, you don't got to tell your salary. I'm
Hmm.
kind of wondering why you're getting pushback because I get women all the time that say they want a provider, they
Yeah.
don't want to work. So this to me would be perfect for that girl. But now I'm seeing stuff control. Ladies, sometimes y'all confuse me, and I'm here. I be trying to understand, but y'all confuse me. Y'all tell me all the time I want a provider. He literally said he wants to be a provider. And he doesn't want his woman to work. And now y'all are mad that he desires that? Because I thought that's what y'all tell me y'all want too. So I don't know. I'm a little confused why some
I know where
women.
that comes from, Kendra.
Where's
I
it
know where
come
it comes
from,
from.
Leo?
It so there's women today, they don't they believe in, see, they've already heard that the men want them to be submissive, so they just say that they're submissive, but when it actually comes down to analyzing that and what that looks like, and them not, being argumentative and combative and trying to get their way all the time, they don't like that. They want their way. They want their way. And I understand. It's just that I prefer to lead the family, and I am not gonna lean on myself. I'm gonna lean on my spiritual provider. And in the way I see it, there's an order to things, and she should let me lead the family, because I'm not going, when I get weak, I know that I need to get up. When she gets weak, I know that I need to help her. So I just believe in the order.
I gotta ask one thing because I am confused. Because you said you don't want a spiritual woman, but you
Mm-hmm.
got a spiritual provider.
So God is spirit, right? Because it's not a being we can see, right? So
Okay.
I'm saying that um I'm gonna rely on God. You
Okay,
know,
that's fine. But you, and this is fine. I just want understanding.
yeah.
You call God your spiritual provider,
Hmm.
but you went on record saying one of your deal breakers is a woman who is spiritual. So I almost thought you didn't like the word spiritual when you said
Oh,
all that.
yeah. So no, not it's not the word. It's like the people that the goddesses, that the women that think they're gods, and um I went through that phase already.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you have any other deal breakers, Leo, before we go to the next question?
No, no other deal
Okay.
breakers.
Does the woman have to look a certain way?
Uh, no, just love to eat healthy.
What, say it again? What'd you say?
Love to eat healthy.
Okay. We have
Mhm.
some more paid questions. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, this one's from Billy the Kid. Billy the Kid said, if you work at WAG or Rover, just say that. Did I see you on the strip at Mr. a few weeks ago? I know you effing lying, I think.
Wags is I actually started on there, so that's where I developed. So yeah, it's a good starting point. But no, I have my own business now.
I think here's what the question is. I think this is what it is. Because you say you don't want your wife to work, you want a traditional
Yeah.
woman, people are trying to figure out your salary. So, do you want to share what your salary is? that will provide for your family, or do you want to keep that to yourself?
I don't mind, but I don't seek money. I do really well. I do above 80.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, um, for clarity, do you not want your wife to work, or is it an option? If she wanted to work, would you be fine with that?
No, I wouldn't be fine with that.
Oh, so we are getting clarity. So you don't want your wife to work at all?
Nope, I want her to work for me.
You want her to work for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, okay, we're getting. Maybe these are the things that I missed in the cousins. Okay, cousins, maybe cousins, y'all caught on before I did. Do you want to explain that? Because I know there's some people that are like, wait a minute now. So do you want to explain that?
Um, why I don't want her to work?
Yes, and make sure your light is good. Maybe it could be me. Why you don't want her to work, and if she does work, why she's working for you?
Well, I want kids. I want kids. I want marriage, and it's very important that she prioritize the family and actually raises the kids. And I'm gonna work really, really hard to make sure that we can get the things that we need. And I'm gonna go above and beyond and make sure we can get a house. But I need her to do her part, and I need her to focus on you know the kids. Homeschooling is important as well.
Oh, so
Um,
you don't want your kids to go to like public
mm-mm,
school, private school?
no, no, I want her to be a mother. Yeah, I actually believe that women are supposed to raise their children and not give the kids away to a school system, and that they will say that they don't agree with what they're teaching and stuff like that.
So
So
you wouldn't want a career woman then? That's not the woman for you.
no, not at all.
Not
Not
at
at
all.
all.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, okay. Ooh, okay, okay, Leo. I guess the cousins kind of picked up on all this energy before I did. That's where their questions were coming from.
Yeah.
Um, let me see. Okay, we got some more questions. You're tapping into emotions tonight. Um, logical faith says, bro, you can't properly lead without a clear, defined standard. Religion is not a dirty word. And if you're going to quote the scriptures, you need to be consistent, not pick and choose. Do you have a response?
If I'm gonna, religion is not a dirty word. I think religious people, the way I see them, they're like Bible thumpers, and I don't think that that's right, because that's like that gets into judgment. And yeah, so and I'm not picking and choosing. I just have a different understanding of something. Like, I believe in like the divine order, which is, man put his faith in God, and the woman puts her faith in the man. So that's just the way I see it. And a lot of people don't interpret the scriptures like that, but like that's the way I interpret it. You know,
Oh, okay.
I think that's the best way.
All right. Ashley Michelle said, ask if his wife will get paid while working for him. Also, will she get a percentage of the company?
It's a no. It's a no.
It's a
It's a
no.
no.
It's a
No.
no.
So check this out. How she will get paid is, I will say this, because I put in a lot of work in what I do. I get a massage every week, so she'll get that. She'll be well taken care of, and she'll have the things that are essential. But I want a woman that's not so focused on the world, though. I don't want her so caught up in, us, upgrading uh a car, and us trying to be in designer. Like like, let's hit this goal that I have a goal. I want you to help me reach that goal. So
Now let me ask this. This is a Kendra question. So
yeah.
how will it work if she wants money to do something? Does she have to ask you for money, or will there be like a joint account and she's just at her leisure? She could go get money out the joint account.
Well, I wouldn't play with a woman at all. So if I dealt with her seriously, I'm gonna commit. And so that means she will have access to my resources. As soon as I have access to her body, she's gonna have access to my resources. And I think that if a man wants to um he wants to have sex with a woman, that's grounds for a woman to say, what's your finances looking like? And you should be able to show her that.
Listen, you are tapping emotions, Leo. They got questions for you.
Yeah.
Ashley said she's working for you. She's
Mhm.
raising your kids. She's walking your dogs. Laughing my ass off. What's in it for her? Let's be for real.
What's in it for her? So I don't know why you guys don't value men nowadays, but I'm black and white. Um, I protect my woman in not just the physical sense, financial sense, but I spend time with her. I believe in family values. I don't believe in running the streets. I stay my home. I work out. I'm fit. Um, I love God. That's the most important thing, I think. I think. And I'm continuing to strive to become the best version of myself.
Okay, okay. I think this one's on your side. Mr. Patrick Spalding says, y'all have to look at the bigger picture. What he's saying isn't wrong. Most women just want independence from a man. That's why it comes off crazy. So
Yeah.
he actually agrees with you.
Yeah,
What?
you're exactly right. They want to be independent within the relationship instead of being interdependent on the man. And I think that's why a lot of relationships don't work.
All right, let's go forward with my questions and then I'll go back to some more because you know they you got them in their emotions tonight, Leo. All right, Leo. So I asked you if she had to look a certain way. You said she has to, right?
Uh she just gotta eat healthy and want to be in the gym.
Want to be in the gym.
Hmm.
Okay, now she don't gotta make a certain amount of money because you don't care, correct?
Not at all.
Not at all. So she could work at Burger King and you will retire her.
Absolutely. Don't matter where she's at, I'm gonna retire her.
No matter where you at, he's gonna retire you. He's gonna
Yeah.
retire you. So just for clarity, you have children. You know, I think everybody. How many kids do you desire?
I want at least 5 boys.
You want so you want her to be a baby. You want 5 boys.
Yeah. I
Okay.
want boys. If it take 12 to get 5, I want them.
If it takes 12 to get 5, well, you know the man decides the sex of the woman. So if you get a girl, you don't want any daughters?
Well, I know the secret to get a boy, so I'll get a boy.
What's the secrets to get a boy?
I can't tell you here.
So if
Yeah.
your wife has a daughter and you would take responsibility that it was because of you.
Of course. Of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
So 5 kids, she'll be out of work for a long time. I was gonna say when the kids got older, would you be okay with her working then or still just working for the family?
I think though, I wouldn't mind her being creative and innovative. Like if she can write, right? Maybe she can write a book or she can teach something across social media platforms and get something that can benefit, but it doesn't take time away from raising the kids and you know um, just being a mother and a wife. Those are two very hard jobs that are underestimated, which is why I think that there's not too many people that are mothers and wives. Well, good mothers and wives.
Okay. Now 5 kids back to back. Would you get her a nanny too to help? Or would there be some type of help for her since she'll be out working so much?
Um, yeah, that's the thing. I definitely think that we need to work towards that because I don't think that I will be able to get that nanny right away. But towards 5 kids, I would definitely have it. I'll probably have it by the first. But Kendra, one thing that I noticed is that the exes that I've had, I would say that one of the issues, and I'm no victim to my past situations, but I'll say that I noticed that putting in the work was something that was difficult, and it seemed like I was always applying pressure to say,
What do you
hey,
mean by putting in the work?
um, so and this is my mistake, but I will rise at like 5 a.m. and I go for my run and then I go out for a morning shift and I'll be gone for like 3 hours and then I come back and my woman's just getting out of bed. Now, I would like to have some food before I come out the door because I come back and I stretch and stuff like that. And I'm lazy when it comes to food. Lazy, absolutely terrible. I will pick up, you know, Waffle House and fast food and a steak from a restaurant, constantly spending money at the store. So I would just like for her to anticipate my needs.
So basically, in other words, when you get up at 5 a.m. and you return by 8 a.m., you would like a woman that would have breakfast ready for you.
Hmm.
And your past women can never rise to that occasion.
Yeah, I didn't force it, and I wanted to just see who anticipated my needs, and eventually I realized that this person doesn't. She doesn't have a high enough. Women have to really like really like you, have a really high interest for it to work.
Woo, yeah, okay. Let's get to the Kendra Cam. I got a lot of paid questions, but we're gonna do my questions first, guys.
All right.
And then I'll bring y'all questions in.
How do you flip it? The flip is. I don't know. Let me just do this. Can you see me?
Okay. Looks like you're in shape.
Yeah.
Let me say this, and I don't know how ladies are gonna feel. I can't say I agree with everything, but the analogy of if you're with a guy, and especially if he's paying all the bills, I actually don't think that's a bad request to expect your woman to want to have breakfast for you when you return. I think that's just something that if you're living with a man and he's paying every single bill and you know he's working hard and he went to the gym, it's almost something that if you really do, I think agree with you, like you, or let alone love you, you would want to do it. I think the challenge becomes when you should never want to have to do nothing, right? So it's the word I have to have it done. It should
Yeah.
always be a desire, right? It really should be. And I don't think that's a bad request to say, I'm paying all the bills. I went out early. I came back. You're still in the bed. You can have something. I don't think that's bad, to be honest.
And preferably we'll be married, of course, and sex on demand that wouldn't be bad either.
Now,
Kendra,
and now.
where do you think my motivation is come from? Nah, it's not coming from her, but
Well, I think that
uh,
listen, I think when you're married, you definitely, I mean, your partner can only get sex from you, right? So I do agree that once you're married, yes, you guys should know that we are now obligated in a certain way to have sex with each other. That's what you
mhm,
sign up for. But sex on demand, now you just have to make, and then could she get it on demand? I think
absolutely.
that could be a sensitive. That's an. I don't want to. I understand what you're saying, but that could be a scary walk because what
Oh,
if she doesn't want to have sex and you really want to have sex? She should have the rights, for whatever reason, if something's going on, and not feel like, well, you can just take it. That's why that's a slippery walk. I do
I
understand when
agree.
you're married
I
that
agree.
your wife is obligated to have sex with her husband. And there's some agreements there, but sex on demand, I can't co-sign that.
Kendra, now you know when a woman likes you, even if she's sick, she won't. Never mind.
No, woman, no, hold on. I'm a woman, right? And
Hmm.
woman, she could have a menstrual cycle. She could be stressed.
Yeah.
Somebody could have died. Like we're human beings, right?
Hmm.
So you might have a need, and I might not be in the mood for whatever reason. And I should have my for whatever reason. Now, if I'm just withholding sex from you all the time and you're my husband, that's not right. But does my husband get to just call me and say, I'm coming home today, regardless of the day that you had, I want to have sex when I get there? Click. I can't agree with that.
No, I agree. I
Okay.
agree.
I think it's Leo. Let me say this. I think it's the way you're saying it. It does come across controlling, and
Yeah.
it does come across like you want a woman to just. There were certain things I understood, like I said, the dinner, the breakfast. But
Yeah.
now what's happening is it sounds like, and I hate to use the word, but yeah, it's coming across like you're my slave wife, and as my slave wife, do whatever I say needs to be done. And now that could be tricky. I can't co-sign that.
I'm gonna tell you where this is coming from. And I say this often when I get in discussion with men. And I was talking to my barber about this today, and I was telling him that I said men today are they believe in the gray area, and I think men are black and white. And the reason why men should be black and white is because they don't mislead women. Because like you can see by my approach, you know what you're getting. It's always good for a woman on the internet that is looking to talk to me. She should know what she's getting, you know. And I'm this, praise the woman. You gotta love the woman. This and that. Yeah, but there's a way to love her, and I think that it's important that if men weren't so weak today, the women would actually see that this is what a real man sounds like. He actually has a responsibility, not just by you, but his God is holding him accountable for when he goes into a woman. He's saying there's a standard. You have to be willing to take care of her, bring her into your home, feed her, clothe her, make sure you have the resources that she's comfortable with before even dealing with her. Because if not, I'm just gonna weed her out.
Let me ask this. Now, I think I'm going to honor your desire, but I have this question because you said it earlier. You know, we know you want 5 kids and you want the woman to focus on raising your children. So, do you not respect career women? Like, do you think career moms, I should say, they are choosing their careers over their children? Like, are you feeling? Do you feel as though most women, if they become mothers, they shouldn't work?
I think in my dynamic, it would be I don't disrespect it. And if you want, I don't think nothing of it. I don't take any judgment. But for me, I would say that I'm really the only thing that matters to is that my kids they're secure. Secure doesn't mean what they got on, or or what cars they're driving. Secure on the inside. So I really want her to hyper focus the family, just like I'm gonna hyper focus the. I'm not a lazy dad. I believe that I need to go out, come home and check on my family, sure what see what their day was like, not sit on, drink a beer, watch the football game, and play the video game. No, I'm gonna check on my family, So, but I want my to take pride in her role.
Okay. All right. When was your last relationship, Leo?
My last relationship was 3 months ago.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
3 months ago.
3 months ago. Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Uh, I have to work on thoughts. I be in my own head a lot. Um, I have to work on my physique. I'm saying that I mind blowing physique and I only look like I'm average fit. Um, and
Wait, say that last part again.
I only look like average when it comes to my fitness. Just look like I'm fit, but not like wow.
So you want to be more wild.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I want to walk across my woman and she look at me and be like, you know. So, uh, and financially, I want to be able to have the resources to be able to reach my goal, which is get land. I'm so focused on that, Kendra, that like I try not
What now? What is it again? What's your goal?
to get land.
To get land. Okay.
Yeah, that I
Okay.
don't even care about what I wear. I can wear regular t-shirts every single day because I don't do anything but work, and I'm just focused on my goal. That's it. I just want
Okay.
my goal. Yeah.
Eh, okay. Now, why would a woman be lucky to be with you, Leo?
Um, she will actually be dealing with a man who's overcome his emotional state. Because no man with that deals in emotions is a man. A provider, and someone's going to be kind with her and patient. So she would be lucky to have somebody like that.
Okay. And what's the age range you would date, Leo? You're 32.
Um, Preferably, uh, 20 to 30.
20 to 30. Should she be in Dallas, Texas?
Uh, no, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You would relocate her.
Yeah,
And she can't have any kids, you said, correct?
no kids.
Okay, let me give you some of these paid questions that we had. I won't be able to read them all. Um, Exclusive 40 said, women that work do not put the same amount of energy in their children as women that don't. I agree with him on that part. It's just impossible. Okay. Someone agreed with you.
I agree. We shouldn't pass any judgment on them. Let them do them. If they want to. They want to say that they could be good moms like that. Then let them have at it. But the children end up lacking, and they base their children's success off of them going to school or them having a home or a car. But they in here they got no peace, and they yell at women, and they don't know how to treat women. They destroy women because they're weak men.
Well, let me just say to this, and I respect you not wanting your wife to work. You want your wife to be at home and take care of your children. But we do know there are plenty of people that were raised by single moms who had to work and turn out to be amazing human beings. So we can't just say that because a woman works. Yes, obviously, if she could be there 24/7, but there's LeBron James comes to mind. His mother was a working woman, and he is the greatest basketball player of our time.
Yeah,
So,
we can't base his success in basketball off of I believe in his spirituality more so than him. A man's work, he's the greatest, you're right. But I want to know if he's got peace within, if he really is a man of God. That's how I feel. But you can.
okay, that's fair. But are you implying that if a mother works, that her children won't grow up with being a man of God?
I'm implying that women, 100% of the time, not sometimes, they don't raise men. They raise males that have the nature of the mother because that's what they're around majority of the time.
Hmm.
So his nature is of his mom.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna argue about a man about being a man. I'm a woman. I understand that narrative. We need lights. I want to make sure I see you good. Maybe the light is fine. It could be my hold on. It could be my ring light, so you might be good. Okay, no, you're good. My light is just so bright.
Hold on.
I do believe, the mother and the father are very. This is so much better. I
Yeah.
believe the mother and the father are very important to children. Okay, all right. Let's read this one. Daquan said, "It's given polygamy. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Be honest, my guy. You join a cult that's no success rates. This is poly talk."
So if the woman is unwilling to have multiple children, I'm gonna have my children for sure.
Woo, 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 woo. Now, Leo. So you're saying if you get married and
Mhm.
your wife can only have 3 kids, you're
Mhm.
gonna go out and find another woman to have the other two?
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not about what she wants. It's about us accomplishing.
That's not about us. That's about you. Nope. This moment is
Mm,
about you. If you're saying if your wife can't produce three
mhm.
children for you, and you're
Yeah.
on record saying I'm gonna find another woman to give me my other 2 children, that's not about the family. That is about your own
Mhm.
personal desire. And I think in
Mhm.
this moment you truly are confirming that your whole dynamic is a self-based dynamic. You just want a
Mhm.
woman to come in and give you babies, raise your children,
Mhm.
work for you. God
Mhm.
forbid she can't give you 5. You're going
Mhm.
to go get somebody else pregnant. You're not
Mhm.
worrying about her emotional state. You're the worst guy. You're the worst guy, Leo. That's
So
terrible.
you're right. I'm not worried about the emotional state because like there's logic to what I'm saying.
But that's not fair because that's what men do not understand. Women are not
Mhm.
robots, right? So to expect your wife just imagine this. This is a woman who is trying to give you kids and for whatever reason cannot. She's
Mhm.
probably already sad and stressed because of that. And now you're saying you will go find someone else that can complete the job. And
Mhm.
she needs to logically be okay with it. I think
Mhm.
that you don't know anything about a woman if you think that would
Mhm.
be a logical thing for a woman to be okay with her husband having two kids by somebody else because she couldn't complete his desires and
Mhm.
giving him five.
But isn't that what a wife is supposed to do?
A wife is a listen, hold on. A wife is not your toy. A wife
Mhm.
is not your robot. A wife is a woman. She's a human being. So for you to disregard her human being instincts and emotions and feelings, you would be the worst husband because you have no regard to her well-being. All you care about is your desire of what you want and your wife to complete your goals. These are all your goals. Fuck her goals. And you're even saying if she can't even produce all your goals, you will go find another woman to do so. That's terrible. That's terrible.
I thought that a woman's desire should be to her husband.
But right now we're talking about the example, and the reason I'm going off is
Mm.
we're talking about the example of a woman not being capable of giving you five children, and there could be anything, right? Let's say she has two, and now she had first of all, I think sometimes men, and I wish men could have babies, like bring them into the world, because it doesn't happen as often, but women can literally die in childbirth, right? So there could be a case where your wife can have the second child and had complications. And the doctor could even tell her, listen, I don't think you should try to have any more kids for the health of your life, right? And you're saying if your wife got that recommendation from a doctor because she didn't give you five, you're on record saying, well, I wanted five. Let me go find someone else to give me the rest of the three. You're not looking at her as a human being. You're just looking at her as a woman that you need to complete your mission because you need a woman to have children. You can't have that with anybody else. So she's necessary for that. But if she can't complete it, you'll go get somebody else. That's
So
horrible.
yeah, so Kendra, I do realize that like more women, the woman that would more so agree with what I'm talking about, she's more of like a Muslim woman. She's a woman that puts her desires to her husband, and she trusts him. She trusts God so much that she trusts her husband will do right by her. And with me, I'm gonna do right by my wife. There's not a woman that I've not done right by. I've always gave them their just due, which is providing for them. And so I'm never going to not be patient with her, but I am saying that I want her desires to be to me. And the women that want their own thing, the independent women, we see that they're reaching old age, getting on the dating apps and on here, not being able to accomplish that goal of being a wife because they're misprioritizing men. They're not prioritizing us at all. And I'm saying I want to be prioritized because I believe that you were put here to be a helpmeet to me, and I believe that I'm supposed to treat you right. And part of the way I treat you right is I have to not have anger. I have to not be an angry person. You should never, nobody should ever be able to get me angry. And I believe that that's what makes you a man. And once you've accomplished that, you'll get a wife.
Well, let me say to this, and that's fair. There are definitely older women who are single looking for love, but there's also older men too. And at the end of the day, I always say, okay, if the world is at your oasis, because men say that
Mm.
they have quantity over women, which is true, and that they choose. I feel like if you want to be a husband, then shouldn't it be easy for you to find a wife? At some point in time, you have to find a woman to be in agreement of what you're requesting. So there's some men who feel as though that kind of have your mindset. They
Yeah.
can also grow old and never become a husband. And they've also been on my show too. So not just older women have been on my show, older men have been on my show and they stand strong in their beliefs. But
Yeah.
guess what? They still don't have a woman to do life with either. So how do you explain that?
Simple. I think that a lot of men portray that they have overcome certain things. There's to be a man, there's a rites of passage that you got to go through. And a lot of men are just portraying the ideology, But if you're truly that, like, they will come. So like here in this interview, I know that, that somebody's going to reach out and be like, yo, I get him. I get what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But those guys, they they still got poor relationships with their mothers. They don't really know how to love. It's all about their concepts of what love is. And you're right, they're probably the ones who, oh, I need it like this, I need it like that. I'm telling you what God's order is and what I believe, and I'm just going from there and I'm navigating in that. So I do agree that there are older men that are still single, but those men, I would argue and say that they're not men at all. They're emotional, they're bitchy, they're dowdy. Um, I've seen the background to their place. I'm 32 and they don't look like they're living too good. So who wants to be subjected to that? I live in the suburbs. I live in Plano, Texas.
Okay, we're gonna move. I think we're at the end, and we have so many
Mhm.
questions. I probably can't get to all of them because I got to get some more guests. I
Yeah.
guess I will say. So, do you feel as though by watching my show you'll find a woman to align? So, you know what's interesting? I do think you will get people, well, women, to
Mhm.
reach out to you, but I wonder if it's going to be the type of woman you want back, because that's what's going to be your challenge. You will probably have options of women who will agree, but it may not be a woman that you want.
Yeah.
So the challenge then becomes the woman that you want. Is she going to agree?
I will weed them out very quickly, Kendra. Very quickly, because I've was a streamer on a dating app and developed like 10K in following. So and I've
So
talked
with
to many
one,
women.
okay, you had 10K in following a
Yeah.
streamer, and you couldn't find one woman worthy enough of being your wife.
I gave like 3 or 4 women a try, and what happened was, to simply put it, I think I was to blame. I think that I soften up tremendously, and I
Oh, this
like
is
for
your soft. You used to be worse than this.
y- no, 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 no. I'm saying I softened up. Like when they get here, I'm like, I'm not gonna judge her. She's not getting out of bed. But now I've learned to tell them what I need. A closed mouth don't get fed. So tell them to stop seeing if they will anticipate your need. Tell them what you're looking for and see if they'll do it. But the old me would just be like letting them do their thing, and then next thing you know, like they've done nothing all day but made me bacon and eggs in the morning and something very simple at lunch. And so now I learned that I need to open my mouth and tell them exactly what I'm looking for.
I would love to meet your future wife one day. Wait,
You
just for out of curiosity, do you want a
Yeah.
polygamous relationship?
Uh, only if needed. I don't think that men should be poly unless it's needed. But I
And for
do
you, it
think
would
that,
only be needed if your wife can't have 5 children.
yeah, yeah, and but I think it'll also be a lot of work for her. And if she wanted help, that it would have to be something that we talk about.
Okay, I got some questions. Here we
Hmm.
go. Nunu Yalin said, if your manhood, your P, stops working, or if you become disabled and can no longer provide for your wife, can she go elsewhere to have her needs met?
Absolutely sure. My manhood won't stop working. I'm
You
young,
know,
so
well, how do you know
I'm
that?
delu-
I think men
I
don't talk about. Hold on, real quick. How
Kendra,
come men
Kendra,
don't talk about that?
I'm young, so I'm delusional. Let me just state that I'm delusional. I'm
Okay.
young. I'm young right now.
But I want to say this though, we don't talk a lot about ED, but ED is real. So if you, it is real. I think men act like their penises are going to work forever, and it's just not a fact. So let's answer this question in a true sense. That happened to you. Would you be okay with your wife going somewhere else to be sexually pleased?
Sure. Yeah. You know why I'm saying sure? I'm saying sure because no woman that loves you is going to give herself to another. She's just not. Even if it doesn't work, like the only women that think like that are women that have experienced the field and are saying, can I experience the field again?
Do you know how, again, this goes into your narrative, how much you don't, this is so hypocritical.
Mhm.
So if your wife,
Mhm.
so if your wife can't produce all the children you want, you feel as though you have the right to find another woman that can. But if you as her husband can no longer please her, she shouldn't even want that desire.
It's not so much the right. It's more so I'm telling you this up front, and you know what you're getting into. You know, you know your job duty, and I know mine. So I just want to be upfront with you, and I think it's better for men to be upfront with exactly like what you're looking for. Like I want, I want land, I want a bunch of kids, I want a woman that's going to prioritize the children, and I want to prioritize my family. That means I want to be around my family. So I'm focused on, residual income. I'm lucky to be networking to a very popular YouTube channel that's over 10 million views. So I got residual kickback on that. So I
Well,
just
I
want to
would say
focus
to
on
that
that.
is, if
Yeah.
you're as popular as you say you are, why are
Mm.
you even on my show? You should have found this woman
Oh,
already.
it's not mine. It's not mine. Oh, if,
Oh,
if
okay.
I had 10 million, yo, I just started on social media like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right, hold
Yeah.
on real quick. I got some more questions.
Hmm.
Mrs. Roberts 777 said, "You need marriage counseling beforehand to understand compassion as a husband. I think you poorly communicated your desire, hence sounding like you'll objectify the wife's role."
Um, Understand compassion. I do understand compassion. Compassion is the ability to understand the situation. That's compassion. I do
All
do
right.
that.
Dreaming Edmund said, "This is why you have to let these men talk instead of jumping, because he said, 'I will be a provider.' This man is disgusting."
Well, that's just an insult. I don't understand. Just an insult, and but that right there is what I'm talking about. That is an emotional person. There's no logic to that question. I don't like women like that. Try to understand. Seek first to understand instead of just responding with that.
So you want a woman without emotions?
No, I want a woman that tries to understand, that doesn't jump to her emotions. You should be trying to overcome that.
Well, listen, let me say this. I was understanding a couple things
Yeah.
that you were saying until you got to the blanket statement of, if your wife couldn't have more kids, you will
Yeah.
seek it elsewhere. And in that moment, I understood that your wife is, you don't care about your wife's, to me, well-being. You just want a woman that you need a woman. You need a woman to become a father. It's
I
it's
do.
a it's an actual fact. And I
Mhm.
wonder, I almost wonder if you could have a child without a woman, if you would even want her then.
If I can have a child without a
Like if
woman,
if if there was ways, like God was so good by making it
no.
men and women have to come together to have kids. But I
Yeah.
wonder how many people would not even have a man or a woman if they weren't necessary for reproduction purposes.
No, well,
Because
I
I
would
feel like your
definitely.
wife is, she's a, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. It seems like you want a slave wife. Reproduce your children, work for you, but I gotta end with you, but I want to honor some of these. It says men like him make women single mothers, then turn around and bash them for being the parent who stayed.
Another emotional comment.
Okay, that's emotional to him. No, dude, exclusive 40. No, dude, if you made an arrangement to be faithful, you are undisciplined, unjust person. If become disabled, can she get D and money from men on the side? We kind of just had that question. All right.
The arrangement is not to be. I'm telling her up front. Remember that.
He said he's telling you up front.
Hmm.
Now, this is one thing I will give you. Any woman who dates you after watching this video, she gets what she deserves. Because one thing I
Hmm.
will give you is you are being very clear. You are standing true to your statements, even when you're challenged. So if she chooses to proceed after watching this full interview of you, then it is what it is.
Kendra, and Muslim men and Indian men say this all the time, and we don't judge them. So I just think that it would be good for women to actually reserve themselves for their husband and not be out there in the streets. But
Are you reserving yourself for your wife too?
yes, I am.
Oh, I didn't. We not. Did I not get there? You told me the last time you had sex was last year.
Yeah, the last time I had sex was last year, but I was in a marriage, a committed marriage.
You was married? I missed that. You
Hmm.
was I didn't know you were married.
One time.
And you got divorced last year.
Yes.
Why did y'all get divorced?
Pressure.
Who okay, let me ask this. Who
Pressure.
asked for the divorce?
She did, of course. I won't file.
Okay, so now you understanding what I'm saying, that you have the right to have your desires, but is
Yeah.
there going to be a woman that's going to sign up for this? That's like really the question. And I feel as though
Hmm.
a lot of I know men, I will say this, men do have more quantity options, right? But I feel like sometimes the quantity options that you guys have, y'all don't want it. So yeah, you can have more companionship. You're gonna have more opportunities to date because there's so many single women. But you're gonna learn that every woman you might not like back. And it's I think you're gonna have a challenge personally
Hmm.
finding a woman that's gonna be in agreement to everything you're saying. And if I'm wrong, I will go on record wrong. But I would love to see if you could actually find a woman to marry you knowing all this. That you like back. That you like back. That fits your beauty requirement, fits your standard requirements, doesn't have any kids. I would be interested to see if you could find that woman.
I think that's really interesting, though. Real quick, Kendra. I think it's interesting that you basically saying that men that are traditional, that believe that the woman's desire should be to the husband, and that she shouldn't, be, showing herself to the world, and that she should
No,
be
no, no.
raising
Hold on, real
children.
quick. If you're gonna
Mhm.
quote me, I asked you, are you doing the same thing? Because I felt like you were telling women to reserve themselves for their husbands. But
Mhm.
I mean, if for you to say that, I was just wondering, were you doing that for your wife? That's what I asked.
Oh, you mean like saving myself?
Well, whatever you said, I
Oh,
was
I
just
wasn't saying.
asking if you're gonna judge her for the things she should do for her husband. I
Yeah.
was wondering, are you doing the opposite for your wife? That's all I was saying.
I would say yes. I would say
Okay.
yes.
Well,
I
yeah,
would
I
say.
didn't know you were married, so we got to that information
Hmm.
fast. All right, we're gonna move on. I couldn't get to every question. They want to know who your wife is. They want to hear your wife's side to the story. LaJoy said, "Were you raised by both of your parents?"
I was not. I was not.
You was not. You raised by just your mother?
Just my mom.
Okay, so now how does that fit into the narrative you gave earlier about if a man is only raised by his mother, he's not a man, he's a male?
Yeah, so she raised me to be soft and to cater to the woman and to put her on a pedestal, and I fell into all type of ideologies like the black woman is God and that spiritual hotep stuff and Louis Farrakhan, and I had to suffer a lot before I got to the point where I realized that I'm the problem and it's not the women, even though you could claim victim and say, well, they're walking away. I had to realize, no, I'm going to keep suffering until I work on myself, work on my heart. I got hate in my heart. I can tell because of the people that I'm following that are preaching crazy messages. So, um, and by the way, nobody's going to get confused with who I am because I just started content like 2 weeks ago. So they're going to know based off my content. And the women do say on my content, they do say controlling this, that, and the third, but they can never actually answer the questions. I'll say, do you have a disagreement? What's your disagreement and what's your stance? Are you saying that women shouldn't let men be the leaders? Are you saying that you want 50-50? And you can see my personality in those comments. I never criticize them. I'm never rude to them. I got peace. I let people be them.
I will say this. I am impressed how calm you have remained throughout this whole interview. And I stand on looks. I always say this, I have 4 years of data, right? So
Mhm.
in 4 years of data, I think your challenge is going to become finding the woman that agrees to this that you want back, and then the woman you may want her agreeing to it. That's just it. Like at the end of the day, both people are the prize. The man's the prize and the woman's the prize. And you need each other for it to work. It can't be one sided for a relationship to work. The guy can't want it more, the girl can't want it more. You have to equally want it because that's what a relationship really comes down to. So I would just like to see if you can find that. And if you can, please come back and share. I would love to meet the woman that you like back and agrees to everything that you
It's
said.
probably gonna be a Muslim woman, Kendra,
Well, yeah, maybe it would be a Muslim woman. Maybe it would be that. That probably would be the best thing
or
for you.
Indian woman, maybe one of the
Yeah,
two.
and maybe that. I mean,
Yeah,
or whatever woman. I just would
yeah.
like to meet her. Last one of them we're going. Malvoan Elephant said, Kendra, y'all being emotional, but don't forget that there are women into polygamy. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So we got it all, child. We got it
Yo,
all.
he
Now
paid
is
to
the
call
time.
you emotional. That's you are Kendra. You are emotional.
I take, but listen, hold on. I
Mm,
take pride in being emotional. Being
mm,
emotional is the reason why I give cash apps at time when I see people that need it. I don't walk away from being emotional as
mm.
a bad thing. I think being emotional is actually a strength because it helps you to be compassionate. It helps you to have compassion for other people. Without being emotional, I would not be the parts of me that I love the most. So if emotional is an insult, I would gladly wear that insult. You know, my greatest, my to me, the greatest components of who I am come from the fact of being emotional and being passionate. This show, this opportunity that you have right now is based off my emotion, based off my passion, because I have a true passion for helping people find their somebody, right? So if I wasn't emotional and passionate, you wouldn't even have a platform to have a conversation because that's what created this.
Okay,
Now,
that's
with that
interesting.
being said, how could the woman who's crazy enough to reach out to you reach out to you?
I've heard that so many times. Never did I think that I would hear that response.
Oh,
Um,
I've said it before, and you
yeah,
definitely was getting that. I
yeah.
personally think she's crazy, but maybe she won't be. So, how could the woman that wants to reach out to you, Leo?
Um, it's husband advice on all social
How you
medias.
give a husband advice and you're not a husband?
Well, you have to first become a husband to just like a wife has to be a
No,
wife
no, you can
before you
only be a
meet her.
husband if you have a wife. See the thing, like a wife can't
Ooh,
be. No, a wife can't be a wife without a husband. I can't just walk around and say I'm a wife. Men tell women all the time, when you not a wife, you not a wife, you not a wife. Both components. A woman is necessary for you to be a husband, just like a man is necessary for a woman to be a wife. It is a two people partnership, or maybe multiple people, however you want to do it. But you have not found a woman willing to be your wife. You was okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you a pass because you was a husband.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say that more importantly, like she already has to be raised up as a wife to actually get into a marriage. She has to be a wife first before getting into the marriage, so she knows what she's getting into, so she can deal with that. Part of the reason why women don't have successful marriages or relationships is they're not raised up to be wise, so that's why they struggle because they don't know what it takes.
Right, but here's what I challenge all the men that speak like you. If you gotta have a woman, to me, the proof it would be in your pudding, right?
Mm.
So there's a lot of men that talk like this, but they're not husbands. So I always tell, and I'm like, women, these podcast men are talking like this, but they don't have a wife. They haven't proven that there's a woman walking this planet that is an alignment and an agreement to what they're saying. So you was once a husband, so I will give you that. But then you also said your wife left your marriage and you were a provider, I'm assuming, willing to pay
Always.
all the bills, and she still decided that she didn't want to give her life to you for the rest of her life. So I still think you got to prove that a woman is willing to sign up for everything that you showed us tonight.
Well, if I think that women want you to cater to their emotions, and I think that
It don't matter what you. Here's the thing, Leo.
Mhm.
You got to find it. Like at some point in time, you're gonna have to realize that a woman is important. She's just not a slave. And until you find that, I mean, that's gonna be your challenge. Like you're saying, what a woman's supposed to do, supposed to do, supposed to do. Well, guess what? Maybe she will never do that for you.
She's extremely important, Kendra. This is why I want her to be in the position that I think that women would value most, which is being a wife and mother.
Okay. Well,
And I think they're made for that.
either way, proof is always in the pudding. So let's do it again. How can the woman reach out to you?
Um, that's husband advice on all social media. That's HUS. BANDADVICE on all social medias. Husband Advice, and you'll see everything you need. Before messaging me, review the videos and then ask me
No, we're not
questions.
doing that. No, we're not doing that. That's not what we do here. We're not here to review videos. We're here if they saw this video
Right,
and they want to meet you, then
right.
they will. They're not. You're not giving out homework assignments. Okay. So if the woman
Gotcha.
saw this whole video and decides that I want to get to know you more, she
Yeah,
will reach out to you. And if you do get married, I please want you to come back. If you find a fiance, I please want you to come back and give me the update.
I surely will.
Okay.
I surely will.
I will give you kudos again of remaining calm the whole interview. That
Thank you,
is a gift.
Kendra. This was a pleasure.
All
Thank you,
right.
Kendra. See you soon.
Bye. Usha, I know I spent a lot of time on him. I know I did. I know I did. I know I did. But sometimes these conversations are necessary. And yeah, they're necessary. I could not ask every question. We would have been up there for 20 more minutes. Let's get somebody else for the show.